Hi, welcome to Comic Book Takeout. I'm Sean.
And I'm Felix.
And this is the show where two nerds, geeks, whatever.
Whatevs.
We talk about comic books, we talk about comic book related media, and other such things. We tend to go off a lot of tangents.
Oh yes.
Despite the show being called Comic Book Takeout, we've only eaten takeout twice in the 5 episodes we've done so far.
I mean,
one day we'll get this right, Felix.
We'll get this right one day. I mean, the time difference makes it a bit more difficult.
Next week. We'll do it next week.
Next week, there'll be actual takeout. I mean, it's going to be
Next week, I'll order a pizza to you. You order a pizza to me. We'll sort it.
It'll be the chillest shit ever.
Exactly.
All right, let's jump right in. So, this week we got a kind of really weird tease from Ben Affleck about Deathstroke. I mean, it was more than a tease almost.
It was awesome. I thought it was... I thought they were just kind of looking into villains, and I thought that was it. So, because I didn't think they'd announce anything that way.
It's a really weird way for something to be announced, but out of the blue, they've put Deathstroke forward. We now have casting as well. It will be Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm saying his name right, but...
Magnet. Hang on, let's Google how to pronounce this dude's name.
Because, I mean, he's absolutely perfect casting. He really is.
Who was in True Blood and How I Met Your Mother.
He's been in a couple of things.
Yeah, I remember him mostly from How I Met Your Mother. I think he was fantastic in that. So I'm quite excited to see him as Deathstroke. But
he looks the part, definitely. That much for certain.
Completely. I think DC have been pretty spot on with their casting choices.
Yeah, especially this one, because it is like, as soon as it was rumored he was going to play him, I think everyone was like, yeah, that's kind of perfect casting. So it's nice to see they've totally brought him in now. As to what role he'll actually play in the universe, we're not sure. A couple of articles have come out from people saying they have inside sources claiming he will be the main villain in the Batman movie. Not 100% sure. He could appear in Justice League, which might be a setup for the Batman movie, or he might just be in the Batman movie. We don't really know yet.
I'm happy with the choice for the Batman movie as a villain, but it strikes me as odd that Deathstroke's primarily a Titans villain. So it feels weird to me that it'd be a solo Batman movie where you have Deathstroke as the villain, but you won't have any mentions of the Robins.
Yeah, it is really strange to have that. Like, I wonder if we might get something almost... Because we keep getting rumors about how this is going to be so full of villains and things. I wonder if we might get something almost a little bit more Arkham Origins-esque, with someone putting a bounty on the Batman and having a whole bunch of villains come out of the shadows to try and take him down. So we'll see, but you're right, to have Deathstroke there without any Robins whatsoever feels a bit weird.
Yeah, it's an odd choice, but it's a good choice. It's a good choice.
And
I'm really happy
there's no
with
reason why he can't come back later. Like, he's a perfect casting choice. His suit looks fantastic. I don't see any reason why we can't have him come back in another film, do a little bit more, because it'd be too easy to win if we just lose him in one film. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a multi-picture deal or something.
Yeah, I'd like to see him turn up for something Titans related. Maybe if we get like a decent casting choice for Nightwing, decent casting choice for the rest of the Titans, we get a Titans movie that Deathstroke is also the primary villain for.
I mean, we could get like a telling of the Judas Contract would be fantastic.
Yes.
Like a modern day retelling of that with brilliant casting would just be extraordinary.
You know they were going to do the Judas Contract as an animated film, or did they can that and then start it up again? I think it's been announced that they're doing it again.
I'm not sure. There's so many kind of DC animated films like floundering around at the moment, but I want to see that. I mean, mainly live action. So I think, yeah, like we said, like Joe Manganiello is just perfect casting, and to see him like take on that role, go against a solidly cast, high budget Teen Titans would just be like a spectacle. It'd be something so good.
Phenomenal. I think they are doing the Judas Contract, which is coming out because they did Justice League versus the Teen Titans.
Oh, of course, yes. So they've got them all set up, all the voice actors and stuff cast.
Yeah,
so.
And at the end of it, they introduced Terra, I think. That was one of the final shots in Justice League versus the Teen Titans. So the Judas Contract would be a good segue into that, even though it's not the classic lineup.
But yeah, I think that film, if we got a proper Judas Contract film, I would be there. But you're right, we need a lot more people cast at the moment. We need more Robins, we need more things like that. So,
well, we've got Ryan Potter darting around trying to be Tim Drake.
Yeah.
I've seen that video. It looks pretty good for it.
Yeah, it looks good for it. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if at the moment they're already speaking with someone to take on the part of Robin. Like, it seems like such a big role that I doubt they're just sat there going, we'll figure it out when we get there. I'm sure they've probably already got someone at least.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Maniello, like they're on the sidelines kind of ready to announce as soon as they kind of... Probably the next time Marvel do a big announcement, we'll get DC fighting back with, hey, look, we've cast Robin, or something like that. Like, I wouldn't at all be surprised if they have him ready to go.
I also think I'd be a fantastic choice for Tim Drake.
Obviously, we're going to push that one. We're going to push that one.
We should. Let's hear for Tim Drake, hashtag.
Start a movement. We'll get it happening.
We should do it. We've got a Man of Steel sequel coming soon.
Yeah, back in development. I think that's definitely a good idea. I think we kind of need it. It feels a bit weird that
we need a Superman film. Yeah.
We went right to Batman v Superman. I think I'd be happy to see Man of Steel 2 get grounded again. Yeah, get us the Superman we need.
And we also need a Superman that now knows what he's doing.
Yeah, you're right, because thus far it's just been a little bit all over the place. So
yeah. Also, we've got
a good chance to fix that.
A little bit of minor news here. Black Manta reports to be the Aquaman villain. We're not entirely sure what version of him we're going to get. I'm hoping the Rebirth version's pretty decent.
Yeah, he's been good so far. I'm game for that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Do you have any good casting for Black Manta? Who would you want to see go against Jason Momoa? Because he's a big guy, so...
He's a big guy.
You've got to have someone who can seem intimidating, someone who's not going to seem crushed by Momoa, which is a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Aldous Hodge?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I could see him doing it as well.
Yeah, he'd be... Bit intimidating, it'd be good.
Yeah, he's got the presence. I mean, speaking of Shazam, Black Adam, is there anyone you could think of who could play Shazam?
Wes Bentley.
Up against The Rock. Oh, instantly in there.
Wes Bentley. There you go. Done. That's all we need. We need Wes Bentley.
Yeah, Zack Snyder has posted on Twitter a picture of the new Batsuit from Justice League. What do you think?
It looks kind of reminds me of Night Owl from The Watchmen, like the way that the goggles look and stuff. I mean, it's a dark picture.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big difference, but I'm liking it. I think you're right. It looks like a mix of almost Night Owl, and if we brighten it a bit, like the kind of main chest looks very kind of Arkham Knight, almost a little bit techy. It's a very interesting suit.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's brilliant. It looks like it looks like a mix between Batman Noel.
Oh yeah, no,
like
that's
that
a good
kind
suit.
of structure. Arkham Knight and Night Owl.
Yeah, I'm especially curious about those eyes, because you're right, they are fully goggled up, which I wonder if that'll be either in
White
post
eyes.
or whether they'll light up and we'll get like a better version of what Bale had, where we have like the actual like white eyes for like scanning the environment, which would be just
cool,
awesome.
We've also got the Thor Ragnarok film is going to cross over with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we've had a lot of set photos that seem to very kind of heavily suggest that Thor Ragnarok will have a cross with Doctor Strange. I think that's probably quite good to bring Strange back into the main fold of things.
Yeah, at least there's now a connection between the Avengers and Strange.
Yeah, because this film has seemed like very isolated on its own, so I'm fine if this film doesn't tie into anything else. If they then have this new Thor film kind of force him to join in, I think that almost makes more sense. I kind of prefer that. If we have another film be the kind of cause of him coming in, like with Ant-Man, where he's on his own, but then he's dragged in via another film. I think that's a nice way to do it.
Yeah, it's exciting. Just quickly over onto the Marvel side, apart from Thor Ragnarok that we've spoken about, Spider-Man. We've got loads of casting for Spider-Man that's happened recently.
Been throwing out casting left, right, and center.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters we still don't know who they are, but here's the main one. Zendaya is definitely playing Mary Jane.
Yep.
Which, to be honest, I didn't realize people didn't think that was going to be a thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised people are so shocked by this. I mean, really?
It's just like, why would you? My favorite comment that I found, and it makes my head hurt, and I keep laughing about it, but it still makes my head hurt. Some guy went, "Oh, so Mary Jane's being played by a black actress? Well, why don't we just hire a white guy to play Martin Luther King? Mary Jane's fictional. She's not. She wasn't real. She was never real." And at least it's going to be better than Kirsten Dunst. Anything is better than Kirsten Dunst.
It's true. Like, whatever you say, it's going to be an improvement. It just seems ridiculous that people care this much.
Although
I'm sure she'll be fine.
The only thing about it that I'm a bit disappointed by is we did get a second version of Mary Jane Watson. We got her in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but they cut all of her scenes out, and she was played by Shailene Woodley.
Oh,
now that's
a really good shout.
That is a perfect casting choice for Mary Jane Watson. If you want a comic accurate Mary Jane, Shailene Woodley's perfect.
Problem is, again, she's a bit old for this hyper young Tom Holland we've got.
For this Tom Holland Spider-Man, it doesn't work.
You've got to go for someone hyper young. But yeah, you're right. She's actually kind of a solid for your slightly more old Spider-Man. She would have worked really well. Bat, I mean, I have a couple of concerns, but like that's definitely not one of them. Like thus far, they've been great with like he's like a really great character, and the way they're portraying him is wonderful. I am sure they are also going to nail her. I don't know why there's this much fear or why people are so concerned about this. Like, it is clear they're going for a very different Spider-Man here to kind of really differentiate. And she's going to be great. Like, I don't see any reason to be panicked, bothered, or even particularly care about this news. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Someone's been cast. Great.
The thing I'm still concerned about is who is Donald Glover playing? Why don't we know who Donald Glover is playing? Mm-hmm. Is he playing Venom?
Really curious to who Miles Morales is playing, who Donald Glover is playing.
Oh, he
Freudian slip right there.
Heartbreaking that he's not.
I mean, I still find it so weird that you cast him and then not put him in that role, because there was such a push for that to happen. It feels really weird to not do that, but
you know what annoys me the most about it is, right, I'm not slating Tom Holland for being young. It's fine. He's a kid.
Yeah.
He's not even that much younger than us, Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's like 19.
I think he's something like that. He's not too, but he plays someone far younger, and he looks far younger.
He's 20. Kid's
okay,
20.
Yeah.
Right? So he's older than you, he's younger than me.
Yeah.
Oh. Right? He's doing well for himself. He's playing Spider-Man. He's playing like a 16 to 17-year-old version of Spider-Man. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Good for him. And he's been great so far. He's brilliant in
Civil War?
Yeah, thank you. Civil War. He's brilliant in Civil War. What's annoyed me is why couldn't we have an adult Spider-Man in this adult version of the Avengers? Yeah. We don't have any other kids superheroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Why make Spider-Man a 17-year-old? I mean, he was great in it, and I see what they're doing, and I see that they're trying to bring Spider-Man back to high school.
Yeah.
But we've seen Spider-Man go to high school twice already.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Spider-Man and Mary Jane before in now 3 movies.
Yeah.
We've seen the whole getting bitten by a radioactive spider, great power comes great responsibility, Spider-Man's home life with Aunt May. Great. We've seen all of it. Why couldn't they just give us a Spider-Man he's in his late 20s, he's been Spider-Man for about 10 years. He's not an amateur, but he's not the best superhero you can find, because he's not an Avenger.
Yeah.
And here is this kid that's paid his dues as a self-start superhero who's doing it not out of guilt, not out of this misplaced idea of heroism. He's doing it because it's the right thing to do, because that's what he's been taught, that with great power comes responsibility, and with that responsibility, what's the line that they use in Civil War? If you have the power to stop bad things from happening, you're as bad as the people that do the bad things.
Something like that. Yeah, it's like, if you don't stop these things from happening, then you're just as bad. Yeah.
Why not have an older, a bit more a weary Donald Glover playing an older Peter Parker, and then in 2 Spider-Man movies kill him off and give us Miles Morales?
Yeah, I mean, we could literally spend hours talking about all the reasons why I think Miles Morales would have just been a better choice. I think you're right. Like, we've seen this all before. It is, like, I'm sure it'll be fresh and new, and they really are trying to differentiate him, but there's only so much you can do.
I mean, even if they just continued with Andrew Garfield and they've gone, alright, okay, those 2 Spider-Man movies happened.
Yeah, I mean, they made, like, the Incredible Hulk part of their canon, and that film is incredibly questionable and just terrible. Like, I don't see why there's nothing in those Spider-Man films that is worse than that. I mean, maybe the whole like lizard thing, I guess, is a bit of a throw off because then people are like, well, why didn't the Avengers get involved? But other than that, there's nothing that sort of... It still could have been connected. Then you have Garfield, let him do a movie, let him get killed off, replacement with Miles Morales. Or, exactly. I mean, in the dream world, Tobey Maguire is hanging up in suit and he passes on the reins to Miles Morales. That's your Spider-Man film. Like, that would be mind-bogglingly good.
I could get behind that, but with the fact that Andrew Garfield did it after Tobey Maguire, would have, if they were going to continue on, it would have to be with Andrew Garfield. Yeah, even though Del Toro is not in doing Justice League Dark anymore, Doug Liman, who what was he directing over Sony?
Well, he was doing Gambit, but he's left that to go and do Justice League Dark. So
we're getting Justice League Dark, so we'll have a big screen version of Constantine, your favorite character ever.
I am actually so buzzed for that. I mean, I'm dying inside that we can't get Matt Ryan, but at the same time, as people point out, like, Colin Farrell. Let's chuck him in.
He'd be fantastic.
Kind of, again, like, that works all too well. I'm totally game for that. You know, I'm so happy about this news. It seems like it's actually got some traction now. I mean, he's totally pulled out a Gambit to do this. So, again, that movie's just fucked. But Justice League Dark seems to be a lot more on the table now.
It's exciting.
I'm buzzed for
that. Really
that.
exciting. Oh, who else? Oh, okay. The Russos said that Steve Rogers is no longer Captain America.
Yeah, it's totally off the table. He's no longer that, which is
good.
It's good, but at the same time, like, I feel it's a bit weird they didn't make more of a big deal about it. Like, it's such a weird thing to just casually drop online and say, oh yeah, by the way, just in case you didn't quite get it, he's not that anymore.
Yeah, he's not Captain America.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it'll play a larger part in the next film, but it is a weird thing to just kind of subtly say, because it actually has like huge implications for the rest of like this whole world.
Well, there was a time where he abandoned the Captain America role and he became just the captain in the comics. Maybe they're going down that road where he's got a new uniform. It's more just kind of stealth. Yeah. There's no symbolism with his character anymore. He's just a true American hero doing true American hero things without being confined to what the government want him to do, which is what the idea was behind the Captain.
Yeah.
Or Nomad. I think it was Nomad before it was the Captain. I can't remember. Maybe after, because I think Infinity War was his last film.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his last scheduled one, at least. It is for a couple of them.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, I think so. Maybe we're gonna get the death of Captain America, and we're gonna get either Bucky or Sam Wilson take on the role past Infinity War.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more likely we get Bucky taking on the role, because I forget how many picture deals he signed on to, but it's something.
Oh, 9.
Bonkers. Yeah. 9. They clearly have big plans for him, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if he takes over.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy with that. Bucky's my favourite version of Cap.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got a feeling you'll be seeing your dreams very soon.
Good, because Bucky's great. What else? Oh, Booster Gold.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me about Booster Gold? Because you only just told me about it right before we started recording, so I have no idea.
Yeah. So
about anything.
This is a kind of weird one. This was part of sort of DC's like second lineup of films they're doing. So again, like our Harley Quinn and a couple of other like a more female centric one. We also know we're getting a sort of Blue Beetle Booster Gold kind of team up, kind of duo-y fun movie. But what's interesting is there's been a couple of kind of different reports about where this is actually going to stand in the DC universe, because it's worth noting it's being done by Greg Berlanti, who does all the TV stuff. He's got no connection to the films. He's our overlord of the TV world. So
he also did Green Lantern.
Oh, the movie. Well, I mean, the less said about that, the better. But so we're getting that movie, and it's being done by him. So one of the most popular theories at the moment is that this film might be our first tease towards DC's counter to Infinity War, which might be some sort of crisis where we'd see TV clash with film, clash with whatever else they want to throw in, which, as far as I'm concerned, is brilliant. I'm 100% game for that. All right, so hopping over to the TV side of things, again, we've got a happy bundle of news.
Got so much. Let's start with Game of Thrones really quickly to get out of the way, because it's really short.
Yeah.
It's ending after season 8.
That is, it's confirmed it's ending after season 8, and we know that our kind of final 2 seasons won't be 10 episodes long. They're going to be shorter. So we don't know how many episodes. It's looking like it's going to be more like 7 episodes per season. So we've actually not got that many left.
But they've also said that some of the episodes will be an hour and a half to 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So it should still be the same amount.
Same length, just
longer episodes.
Smaller seasons to kind of, I suppose, compact the stories more, whatever. Buzzing for that. Yeah.
Alright, let's move on to other TV. Not TV that has literally no use, but comic book wise, we've got just so much.
So much.
So should we start with
We'll rattle through and then we'll kind of slow down on the ones we actually want to talk about. So Supergirl, Lana Luthor is cast, so we're getting another kind of, I mean, not a Superman character, but a very closely connected one coming onto the show. Interesting.
It feels weird. If you're putting Superman in the movie, why don't you just put?
When do you just go screw it and just bring in the big? I mean, that's what they've done so far.
And isn't it Lena Luthor? Lena? Lena.
The casting I read was Lana, but I did this very fast. Oh no, you're right. You are completely
Lena Luthor, yeah. I just think if you're putting Superman in it, you might as well just put in Lex.
I mean, yeah, they've hardly held back with us. Like, we're getting like Metallo and things like that. Like, we're going the whole hog. So I see no reason why they don't just go, screw it, just bring him in.
Yeah. Another thing I have slight issues with is every single time they add a character to it, it just seems to be like a female version of a major character.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So like Lena Luthor or Cat Grant.
Yeah, you're right. Like it's some kind of weird Supergirl news. Some kind of more interesting Flash news. Mirror Master is now cast. Grey Damon.
Yeah.
Season 3. They got a shit ton of villains coming in.
I wonder who. What's his name's playing? The Potter guy.
I'm pretty sure he'll be Professor Alchemy. I'm like.
Oh yeah. Shit. That'd be a perfect casting choice.
Yeah, I'm like 99% certain, because like he's got to be something big. It'd be so weird to kind of bring him in, because he's a big name actor for nothing. So
yeah. Unless they want him as a recurring role for more than one season.
I suppose, yeah, you're right. Maybe they bring him in as a. But then I can't think of anyone else who he'd play, because I think he's got to be like a named character. Like, we're going to get someone.
Well, he could be, if you've been reading Rebirth.
Mm-hmm. Ah. Yeah.
Have you read the new Flash episode?
No, I think
issue?
I'm one behind at the moment. But
right, I'm going to spoil it for you.
Go for it.
A Flash's mate, Augustus, the guy that's also gained speed. Mm-hmm. He's Godspeed.
Ah.
He's Godspeed. What if that's who?
If we have it almost going like
what's his name? Tom something?
Yeah, it's Tom Felton, something like that.
Fenlon?
It's something like that.
Felton.
Yeah, Felton. That's it.
Tom Felton. That's his name. Tom Felton. Right. Yeah, he'd be great if that was the role they put him in.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that as well. But I think for this, I'm pretty certain he's Professor Alchemy, which is kind of a bummer, because it'd be nice for him to have like a bigger part like that and kind of be like more recurring and build up and then ultimately come back.
He could just be the replacement for Eddie Thawne.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
The kind of I'm against the Flash type deal, but eventually I'll be convinced to work with the Flash, and I will grudgingly admit that he's good for the city kind of role, and I will stay around for a couple seasons.
You know, it's funny you've said that, because, well, let's not forget, Flashpoint does completely change things, and they've made very clear that on the Flash there will be some lasting changes. The same with Arrow. What if he is Eddie Thawne? What if he is like a slightly different version of Thawne who doesn't love Iris at all, who just comes in as like a new cop who's kind of totally against the Flash, and we have this really weird dynamic of a very different Thawne who is the same one but a very different man, and then we'd be able to kind of link or kind of reverse flashback in and get a kind of weird, I don't know, like he could be, because that would be like a nice that would actually seem to me like Flashpoint kind of worth it if we have someone who sticks around afterwards as a reminder that things have changed.
Here's another thing that we didn't think about when we were talking about Arrow a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. We talked about how there's going to be a character that was in season 1 or 2 of Arrow.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a returning character, right?
Yeah.
What if Flashpoint erases someone's death, like Tommy Merlin?
Ooh, well, that's a really interesting thought. Yeah, what if it isn't so much he comes back resurrected?
Moira.
He just
What if it's just they never died? I mean, the thing with the TV show is they tend to write out characters that will eventually exist in the DCEU. So, like, Harley Quinn was written out a good 2 years before Suicide Squad.
It's actually they released, like, really recently that one of the reasons that they weren't able to have Mal Bennett come back as Deathstroke was because Warner Bros. Were like, we have some plans for that character, so you might have to keep him on the sidelines. So
yeah, exactly. So we know that it's not going to be Deathstroke. We know he's not coming back. No matter what Stephen Amell says, Stephen Amell's not a writer or an executive. He might love the characters a lot, and I love him as the Arrow. I think he's great. And I liked him as Casey Jones, actually. I think he's... I quite... You know what, Casey... You know what, Stephen Amell? You're right, man. You're right. But stop telling me things that aren't true.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens there. I think, he could be good. He could be good. I'm curious. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I kind of want the... Is it Prometheus that's the villain?
Yeah, Prometheus.
They've announced it where it's Prometheus. I kind of want Prometheus to be Tommy Merlin.
I mean, I feel like it will be Tommy Merlin. There's almost no doubt at all it will be Tommy Merlin. The question is more in what form? Like, did he just not die because of Flashpoint, or is this somehow someone saved him after the building? Like, I think it more comes down to how is he alive and why, how is he now trained and why does he want this revenge?
Well, it's been 5 years. You could train in 5 years.
Well, that's fine.
I mean,
he could have a similar island adventure, but you know.
Yeah, Arrow did it, so why not Tommy Merlin?
I'm curious to see what they do with it. I think it almost might as well be confirmed it's going to be Tommy Merlin. Like, who else from season 1 is going to make a big comeback as a different character?
Unless it's Robert Queen. Oh no, but he shot himself in the head, so that
Yeah.
Oh wait, Flashpoint.
Oh, it's all so weird.
That could fix that. Time travel.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, it's a crazy day.
We're getting an animated CW series, The Ray.
Yeah, we're getting another one.
Like Vixen. Did you watch Vixen?
I did watch Vixen. It was alright. It wasn't brilliant. But what's nice is they've said they're introducing this season so that like Vixen, they can bring in the Ray as like an actual character later. It's just another example of this TV universe growing like crazy fast. Like,
yeah,
I'm losing track of how many shows we now have going on.
Well, wait, let's actually work it out. All on the same channel. We've got Supergirl, we've got Arrow, we've got Flash,
Legends. We've then got the 2 animated,
the Ray and Vixen. Oh God,
I think that's all. I want to say that all. That's 6, which is still a hell of a lot. We've also got
still in development. I mean, they canned the Titans thing, but they're apparently still in development, working on a Nightwing solo project. So that's something that's in development there.
Yeah, it's
Black Lightning. Black Lightning.
Yeah, we'll get on to the property of that later. But like they've got so much going on that it's getting a little bit crazy. Like,
it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, like they've, it's, how do I even put it? Like, it's becoming like much more of a like actual kind of connected universe than anything else we've seen so far, because they do have so many shows now running at the same time, doing all these kind of things, and it's becoming almost like just reading a comic. There's all these different stories going on, and every now and then they cross over.
That's cool. Speaking of crossovers,
look at that link.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Very sneaky. This is the news that's got me most excited. I'm buzzing for this.
Is it the musical crossover?
The Flash Supergirl crossover is going to be a musical. The music is going to be originally scored, so they're going to have their own original songs, and it's looking like, we've heard a lot of rumors it's going to be directed by Joss Whedon.
I'm down for it.
Every part of that just sounds perfect.
My favorite musical themed thing is Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. If Whedon has anything to do with these 2 episodes, I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's too perfect. It's just brilliant.
Oh God. And we already know that Grant Gustin and Melissa Benoist can sing. They were both in Glee.
Yeah, no, we've seen they can sing.
You can see that the guy that plays Joe in The Flash can sing. He sung a little bit in that alternative Flash.
I mean, we even saw Grant singing in Flash.
In Flash, yeah.
And he knocked it out the park, so...
Oh, the guy that plays Cisco, apparently he's very good.
Everyone's got the singing. I'm buzzing. That's what I'm...
happy.
That and the massive, like, 4-part crossover is what I'm, like...
I think it's not a
for.
4-part crossover, it's a 3-part crossover.
Oh, yeah, well, it's like, it'll be 3 episodes long. Like, it's 3 hours long, essentially.
Yeah.
But I don't know which show it is that's not getting, like, an episode.
Supergirl, because Supergirl's a different universe.
Oh, is she just not coming into the thing at all?
No, Supergirl's still Earth 3. She's just on the same channel now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way to bring her over, though.
I don't think they... I hope they don't, because it'd be a good opportunity to have the Jay Garrick version of The Flash turn up in Supergirl.
Yeah, I suppose. It gives them more chance to kind of really play with the whole multiple world things.
Yeah, it also makes more sense that if they introduce a Superman in, Superman stays on that world, because if Superman invades the Earth 1, let's call it Earth 1, Prime Earth, there would be no use for the Flash, there'd be no use for Green Arrow.
Actually, yeah, you're right, it instantly nullifies them. Yeah, so they're
completely.
Not strong enough characters quite yet for you to be thinking, oh, well, Superman couldn't tackle them. No, it really is like a case of, if he came in, it puts the others to shame.
Yeah, completely. It's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a young, dumb Superman. It's not Henry Cavill.
No, this is meant to be like...
that's been going on for 15 years.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, it's... You're right.
This is a veteran Superman.
Tough. It's interesting. It's nice to keep them in a separate world, but I think we want to also do a little bit more kind of world jumping, open up the boundaries a little bit more so we can have the occasional kind of interjump, because why not? But I think you're right. If we keep him sidelined, then we can have more exciting things happen in the main world and not be so skeptical about why he doesn't just come over and fix these problems.
Yeah. We've also been told that Arrow will have a season 6.
Yeah, which is really disappointing.
Yeah, I was hoping it would end with 5.
Yeah, well, they kept saying it was pitched to 5, and so season 6, like, it's already sounding sketchy. The only details we know about it is it will have multiple character flashbacks and like flash forwards, so we'll see other people's character flashbacks and stuff. Problem is, I don't care.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
don't
just
give a shit anymore.
I just genuinely don't care. It's a real pity, because you're right. Like, I think with Prometheus being the villain and with this being the kind of 5th season, I think they had the possibility to end on a high, as opposed to sort of keep dragging it on until it gets really bad. Like 3 and 4 are sketchy. It looks like they're going to redeem it with 5. I think you redeem and then you cut your losses.
Yeah, completely. I mean, Supernatural's gone on to, 13 seasons now? 11, 12, 13,
12,
maybe?
I don't
know.
The poster of 12 was just released this morning or something like that, so it's... I think we're now at 12.
And that's a show that's a show that maybe CW needs to know when to stop, because they obviously don't.
Well, I think it's a case of, like, even if, they still have some relatively good plans thing, I think it's just more a case of stop it. I mean, you can still do, like, have Arrow, I guess, make a cameo in someone else's show or something. But I think...
move Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell. Move him over to Legends.
Yeah, just make...
He'd fit.
Put him in, like, I think a smaller role. You don't need... There's no more, like, big Arrow stories to be told. Free up that slot for another hero to come in. Have him still milling around, but there's no more big stories to tell. And the fact that season 6 will have, other character flash, I think it just reeks of out of ideas of...
Yeah.
That's it, I mean, bouncing back to the Flash, we got some really kind of worrying news.
What is it? What's the worrying news for
I'm going to
Flash?
mispronounce this name. Savitar is the second villain. Another speedster. And while they've
he's the new one in the black suit.
No,
that we saw in the trailer.
No. Even worse.
Great.
The one that's in the suit is, I can't remember his name, but he's a different villain. This Savitar, it seems, is going to be, as in an actual villain when he returns.
Right, so it's not a Flashpoint villain. It's an actual, it's a main continuity.
From the reports,
villain.
he and Dr. Alchemy are going to be the two kind of main villains of this season. The Flashpoint, because it only lasts 3 episodes, the Flashpoint story. So it's... I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't want another speedster villain at all. I think we're done with that. They've been quick to say...
We've had 3.
Yeah. I mean, they've been really quick to kind of say, but he's really different from the rest. He's got, his powers from a different source, and he is, I don't know, it was he's a weirdly, religious character or something like that. But
oh no, Savitar's really cool as a character in the comics. The whole idea behind Savitar is that he's the head of a religious cult that worships the Speed Force.
Yeah.
So he knows more about the Speed Force than anyone. So if you were going to choose a speedster for the Flash to fight, Savitar's a really good choice. But it's just every season we've had a speedster. How can we just give him one season like later on?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe save him for a later on season. To have 3 in a row of literally a pretty much identical villain, just slightly different costume, is dull, to say the least.
I mean, the thing that's really annoying about it is we start every episode with, "Oh, my name's Barry Allen and I'm the fastest man alive." You're not.
Yeah, literally every season opens with someone faster coming up, and you're like,
yeah. Oh no, now I need to be faster than him. And it's just like, then stop saying you're the fastest man alive. Just say, I can run real fast.
Yeah, because thus far, each season is just faster to beat the next
I'm Barry
fastest
Allen,
thing.
And I'm faster than Usain Bolt.
But
not faster than this guy.
Yeah, but not faster than like the 20 other villains I've met so far. Which is, I'm not at all a fan of that. But again, we'll see. I'm curious for Flash. I mean, it's returning quite soon, so we'll see how it all pans out. But I need to see more before I'm going to be 100% sold on it.
Yeah, we've also got Dolph Lundgren coming into as the villain for Arrow.
Yeah, we have like a big actor coming in to be like Arrow's flashback villain,
which is brilliant. And it's also because it's the flashbacks. I'm guessing this is his time with the Russian mafia.
Yeah, which is it's like that's probably like the coolest news I've heard from Arrow so far, because that's like. It's one up. It's, we have a kind of classic action movie star coming in to your random old CW superhero show. So I think that's
it's gonna be
really
great.
awesome. I'm buzzing for that. Well, let's hop to the big one here. Black Lightning TV series.
I'm not just out of all of the people they could have chose, out of all the characters, Black Lightning.
Now, I don't want us to sound like geniuses, but I was re-listening in the past, and it is worth noting, not only did we predict Prometheus, but our plan for Arrow was to have Season 5 end with the nuke going off, him killing Prometheus, and then we literally said a new character,
Black Lightning.
And we suggested Black Lightning. Obviously, we won't see that happen now because it's on a different network, so they're not going to be... Well, they might be linked, but it's... unlikely.
It just proves we're really good at this.
Yeah, geniuses really. But so I don't know if it's going to connect. I hope it does. It's still by Berlanti and stuff. But I mean, even if it doesn't, he will find a way to link them up via crossovers and things. Yeah, buzzing. That's got a pilot order. So that's happening. We'll at least get a pilot of that. It's on Fox, so the same place as Gotham.
We've got season 3 of Gotham. It actually looks alright.
Yeah,
it doesn't look terrible. I might catch up. I might watch it.
Curious. You're right, because actually some of Gotham this season actually looked pretty good, and I was like, okay, you've gotten curious, because at least now Bruce Wayne he's not a child anymore.
He's involved.
Yeah, he's almost like you're just a few years off, maybe starting to even just like put on like a balaclava and going out and doing some stuff. So I'm curious. Gotham's almost picking back up, and if it does, then Fox will again. That's more hopefulness for the Black Lightning series, and then who knows? Maybe we'll get a massive crossover. We'll just have to see.
Maybe. I just as a solo. I know we mentioned Black Lightning with Ernest a couple episodes ago. The more I think about it, the more I think it's a weak character to choose.
It's an odd one to choose. I mean,
it's a very odd choice.
The way they're pitching it is that it will be like he was a superhero, he's hung up the cape, but now his daughter wants to kind of be a superhero, is getting involved in like some bad stuff, so he kind of
so it's comic accurate at least.
It's an interesting character to choose. We'll see. Again, you're right, it's definitely a different direction from like Flash and Arrow to kind of bigger heroes, to kind of go for someone who's definitely
minor to say the least.
Like, so yeah, I'm curious. It's also a weird one to choose because it's so like, I can see why you choose Arrow because it's not very like, you don't have to spend that much money on special effects and things. Whereas you go for Black Lightning, it's a lot of money goes into effects on that, on a show about a guy that not many people know about, on a network that isn't even like primarily known for
superhero
stuff. So I'm I'm curious as to why they've been so kind of happy to greenlight this. I mean, I assume it's just because they know superhero shows are doing well, but again, it's weird.
I would have, considering Fox are doing a Batman-related show, I would have thought they would have done something like Red Hood.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I mean, they've got Gotham. They might as well. They've got all those characters. They could do some kind of nice spin-off things. They could easily do it,
and they could easily link it. They could easily get what's-his-face in some old makeup and make him play an older version of Alfred. They could easily get Harvey Bullock turn up looking haggard and older than usual.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a great storyline. You've got an ex-Robin who kills people.
Yeah.
Who's an anti-hero who... It would literally be season 1 of Arrow, but with guns and a
and with less
deeper hook.
Yeah, a deeper hook, and there's no like moral question. There's no constant like, oh, should I be killing people? It's clear.
These guys should die because they deserve to. Yeah. Red Hood would have been a good series to greenlight. I have no idea why Black Lightning would have been, unless no one's pitching Red Hood, which makes me think, why not? Why aren't they pitching one of the
we could have the issue that
popular DC characters?
We could have the issue that Warner Bros. Is also sat there like, you can't really use this character because we've got big plans for him in the films, like with Deathstroke.
Oh, that's true.
Which I think is probably more like, because I mean, it's at this point, I mean, we know Jason Todd's been killed. Of course, they're going to bring him back as Red Hood. So my feeling is the reason that we're not seeing anything, because he is such a beloved character, and like it would be, you're right, like if you pitch that show, it's going to get greenlit and watched. So I think it's because Warner Bros. Has said, no, we're going to keep that character because we've got big plans for him in the DCU. EU even.
Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4. Whoop whoop.
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? Ghost Rider looks sick.
He looks okay. I'm not at all a fan of the car, but he himself with like when he was actually on fire looked okay.
It's Robbie Reyes, it's not.
Oh no, I mean I know it's comic accurate things, but it just doesn't look that cool. Like when you compare it to like, sure, Nick Cage's Ghost Rider is terrible for so many reasons, but at least he looked cool. Driving around that motorbike, you were like, hot diggity damn. Whereas,
hot diggity damn.
Yeah, literally that. Whereas here, like, you see that car, and because a lot of people have seen that Ghost Rider, it just looks cheap by comparison, which is unfortunate. Like, if we hadn't had those movies, I'm sure it would look better. But because we have, and we've seen how cool that can look, to just see a guy driving around in a car where, there's a little bit of fire under the wheels, it just kind of looks cheap. But that being said, he does make up for it, because when he was actually on fire, he looked pretty good. So clearly they're putting the money in to make him look good. So I just, the car is the only downside for me, but other than that, like, it's almost bringing me back into S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like one more good promo trailer, and I might be like, all right, fine, I'll catch up and see what's going on.
That's happened to me 3 times with 3 different shows. That's happened to me with S.H.I.E.L.D. That's happened to me with Gotham, and now it's happened to me with Supergirl as well. But I think the only thing I need to do with Supergirl is to catch up, is because Superman's in it. I want to see this version of Superman, and I want to understand what's gone on before. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
Speaking of
beautiful.
S.H.I.E.L.D. Civil War 2 has been delayed until the end of the year. It's not been delayed for any production reasons, or because it's a bad title, or it's been badly written in any way, shape, or form. The artist that's currently drawing Civil War 2 just had a kid, which came earlier than expected, so he hasn't had time to finish up the current comics.
Yeah. I mean, there's no hidden vendetta here. It is all very clear and obvious.
It's all very, sorry, I just had a kid, can't really do as much as I should be.
I mean,
so he's doing about a page a day, apparently. So
understandable,
Civil War 2's been delayed a little bit.
That being said, I'm sure Marvel are secretly quite happy about this, because it means that
they've got time to fix it.
Yeah, they've got time to fix it, as well as the fact that DC's big rebirth it's over by then. Like, we've had all our rebirth one-shots, and now it's just kind of back to rolling on, so at least they can kind of jump back in.
Okay, now we can throw Civil War out there, now that Rebirth's not kicking our ass. Because last week... Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. Last week, every top 10 comic title was a DC title.
Yeah,
Marvel didn't hit it at all, which I think is the first time in 5 years.
Knows how long, but it really, like that's ridiculous. That 2 hugely rivaling companies, that one could dominate that much. That is just ridiculous. And if Marvel aren't concerned now, they really should be, because that's not a good sign at all for them.
Also, Rebirth has just been fantastically written.
Yeah, in general, like a couple of the one-shots have been a little bit iffy, but actually once they've actually gone into the series, they've all been so solid. Like
solid, completely solid.
It's unfortunate because like I do love Marvel, but at the moment the stuff they're producing just isn't. It's not at that same like bar that Rebirth is. That it is so easy to get into, as well as having backstories and having nice stories going forward. It's just so. I think it's so accessible, and I think that's why they're being able to dominate at the moment, because you can follow. You can really easily pick up Rebirth 1 of Batman, and you're done. You are into the Batman story. You don't need to have read anything else. If you have, it adds to it, but you don't need to have. And I think that's why they're dominating.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, I think, the issue people have. I think that's why New 52 was successful when it started.
Mm-hmm.
Was that you could just pick up Batman 1 and be fine. And that's why Rebirth works so well. However, the great thing about Rebirth working so well is that it's also kind of got a lot more depth to it now as well.
Yeah.
When you've got a lot of returning characters that we lost in New 52 are back. Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, the actual Tim Drake, not this version of Tim Drake they've been writing for the last 5 years. Yeah. Speaking of Tim Drake is not dead, but he's kind of dead.
Yeah.
They've Grayson Tim Drake.
This whole issue has been very strange. There's been a lot of speculation as to, more importantly, who this Oz character is. So if you haven't read Detective Comics, the most recent one, which is 940, then flip away now, because I want to say spoilers, but it's almost like an anti-spoiler. Like, okay, here's your spoiler for the issue. Tim Drake is dead. No, he's not. That's the issue right there.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is that Oz, this villain who's mainly been appearing in Action Comics, has now appeared here to take Tim Drake away. So he's not killed him, but he's pulling him away from the continuity, which is peculiar.
Right?
There's a really popular theory at the moment that I can kind of buy into, that Oz is in some way, shape, or form of what you call him from the Watchmen.
Ozymandias.
Yeah, which I can kind of buy. DC have also announced that we're getting Justice League versus Suicide Squad.
Yes,
as a new comic series, which is I'm game for that. Both of them have been sort of quite good since their reboots. I'm getting happier with Justice League as it goes along. Suicide Squad's been solid right from the beginning, so yeah, I'm well game for that.
Apart from them Zod, just exploding.
Yeah, except for the most recent one. Yeah, and like I mean, call me crazy, but this feels very much like a very one-sided fight. I'm curious to see how they actually address that. Yeah. Because at the moment, like, I feel like Superman could just kill all of them, but
There's Zod, you mean?
Oh, no, I mean like in like their actual like Justice League versus Suicide Squad comic, like.
Oh yeah, right. I thought you were talking about Suicide Squad. Yeah,
like I'm curious to see like
they're dead.
Yeah, but yeah, even in that, like, how do they take out like Zod?
Actually, hang on, that makes sense. No, if they're bringing Zod into Suicide Squad, so Zod would be the contract for Superman.
Yeah, to get. That's
Cheetah
very
would
clever.
be the contract for Wonder Woman, Deadshot, Batman, Harley Quinn, someone.
I mean, you even only need like one of them. Like that pulls one of them in. They say, hey, maybe we should stop the Suicide Squad. They're a little bit edgy, and then we have a proper kind of smackdown.
They're edgy.
Yeah, a little bit too
leads.
edgy leads. Yeah, no, that's so I'm buzzing for that.
That's cool. That's cool. Oh, in sad news, Alan Moore says he only has 250 comic book pages left to write, and then he will retire.
Yes, this is. I mean, let's not forget he has said this before, but this time, the fact that he's been so specific about the number of like pages he has left to write.
I think it's because he was contractually obligated to do some stuff.
I think now.
So I think he's only got 250 pages left to write, and then he never has to do anything again.
Which is very sad.
I'm kind of happy for him, because the amount of stuff he's written, it's been amazing, but it's just been butchered.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Like, it feels like he's been forced to do so much that
it's ruined the industry for him.
Yeah, it also makes each sort of story that little bit weaker, because rather than having time to kind of really plot out each one and do like a couple of just incredible ones, he's been forced to like a whole bunch of just okay ones. And then to brutally see The Killing Joke as it was portrayed on screen.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was cold. And you'll be pleased to know that Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill have been teasing doing a couple more final projects, doing like a home stretch of the classics, including Hush and Death in the Family. So,
but why would we want Death in the Family? We already had Under the Red Hood. That story's been told.
I don't know.
Oh, Death in the Family.
Yeah, Death in the Family. So like the actual like.
Oh no, Death in the Family is the one that Jason Todd dies in.
Yeah.
Death of the Family.
Yeah, I was getting them mixed up. It's just similar. But yeah, like we might get a few more kind of. It looks like the two of them had so much fun doing The Killing Joke that we might have
another couple.
Yeah, like a final, like a string of like.
Yeah, before Mark Hamill goes, you know what, this is really screwing up my throat.
Like you can tell it's killing his voice, but you can also he's having so much fun doing it that each time he's like, all right, here's what we'll do, like a final like home stretch of the classics, and then I'm done.
Yeah, it's good. I love Mark Hamill.
Yeah, and I mean, if he was pushing something like Hush, like he's barely even in Hush, like it's a very small
in it
part.
For the first issue,
yeah.
So it's not like it's a big role.
Mm-hmm.
But it also bring back, we get Jensen Ackles as Jason Todd back.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Because the current way we're looking at the way it's structured, I think if we're doing classic comic book, because it'd be Conroy, it wouldn't be the new guy that's doing the voice. Mm-hmm. Then it wouldn't be canon to what they're doing. Yeah, so that's fine. No, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think their plan is just kind of hit up like all the big kind of famous ones and just do because they are just. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to hear things done in their voices because they are just the definitive voices. So.
You know what's interesting to me is like you've got Jared Leto sitting around going, the Joker had made me so twisted inside, I'm forever changed.
Yeah.
He's such a dark character to portray. Mark Hamill's been doing the Joker for 20 years now. Mm-hmm. A good 20-25 years.
Oh yeah, and it's like it's worth remembering. People might say, it's just a voice, but if you see him in that voice booth, he goes for it.
He's going for it. He's in character. Mm-hmm. And he's still a little ray of sunshine running around. So, I don't know, Jared Leto. Maybe you're just a bit screwed up, son.
I think that's everything.
I think that's it too. Alright, thanks for listening to Comic Book Takeout. Like our Facebook page, and like our Tumblrs, and all sorts of things that might be linked under this video. We don't know.
I don't know.
We haven't sorted that shit out yet.
Like, share, subscribe. Do whatever you feel like.
Yeah, and, tell your mom.
I mean, you could. You don't have to, but
tell your mom. Say hi to your mom for me.
Oh, there it is. So,
signing off.
Bye.
Bye.